Hi guys, it's Belle here, and it is time for me to pull the next 3 random prompts for a Cabinet of Curiosities challenge hosted by Tiff over at Amethyst Raven 342 and Priscilla over at Release the Crafting. As always, links to their channels, their wonderful channels, will be down below in the description box. So do go and check those out if you haven't already. Don't forget to use the hashtag Curiosiprompts to see what everyone is doing, because there's lots of great fun things. And if you don't know why I'm pulling randomly, go and check out my introduction video and how I'm approaching this challenge and why. That will be linked below in the description box as well, just in case you've missed it. We don't have many prompts left, guys. So again, I'm pulling these completely randomly. So let's pull the piece of ephemera. I'm hoping to get something we haven't done yet. I don't know. Is there 2 in there or 1 in there? 2. Let's pull this one. And then let's pull 3 of the random prompts. It's so hard doing this, especially when some of them get kind of... Are there 2 there? There's 3. Let's choose those 2. Right. As always, I'm going to look at the piece of ephemera first to see what we're doing. Envelope! We haven't done an envelope yet, so that is exciting. Let's have a look at our words now. Widdershins, moving counterclockwise, associated with bad luck or magic. Widdershins, yes, that is a word I am very familiar with. Number 28, Solasta, luminous or shining. Okay. These 2 are just working together already. Those of you out there who, like me, like witchy things. Yep, you see? You see? Are you kidding? These, you saw me pick them completely randomly. Lunation, a lunar cycle, especially new or full moon phases. Are you actually kidding? These, I think, are the best 3 working together that I've pulled so far. Now, I don't know how I'm going to show Widdershins on a card, but these 3, it's like they were meant to be. And they are actually 21, 26 and 28. I am blown away at how well these 3 prompts come together. I'm also super excited. So guys, let me just grab everything and we're going to see what it is I can come up with, especially as it's on an envelope. Ooh, can feel the brain ticking over. I have grabbed some bits, but I really wanted, those of you who've been with me a while are going to laugh at this, I really wanted my glow-in-the-dark embossing powder. And guess what, guys? It has gone missing again. I do not know why this embossing powder will not stay where I put it, but we're going to make it work in some way. I don't know. So I've grabbed my envelope. I also, so on the first make, I made a large moon. Can I find the large moon? I made a couple of these, and I decided I wanted to make a couple of different size moons. So let me find them. So I did different sizes. Now, they didn't turn out quite as well, especially this one. But you know what? I'm not going to worry about it too much. I think I'm going to do the larger one. That's what I think I'm going to do. But we're going to see. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to make a slit in here. You're going to see why once we get going with this. And I don't really know what I'm doing, so that is always fun. I think it's going to be in here, yeah. So I need to obviously not do it right to the top and bottom, because that would mean this doesn't attach. Okay, so we now have a slit here. Now, I may have to secure that somehow because that's a bit wobbly. But what I'm hoping is that would be glued to a page and that would flip. We're going to see with that. So, we've done that. think I also want to trim just these edges. If I have done this too far, this is definitely going to be an issue, because I don't think it's going to be perfect. All right, that's good, that's good, that's good. Let's do it this way. Literally just a smidge off, because I need to open this up right now. Okay, good. Good, 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 good. All right, I know this is black envelope on a black mat, but there we go. We're going to also open it this way. Would be better maybe that way. I'm trying to think. Clockwise is this way. Either way, it doesn't matter, does it? Let's do it this way. Let's do it that way. Yeah. We'll do it this way. Okay, now, when I was making the feathers for the Poe piece, this was my kind of paper that I had underneath. It's quite thick card, actually. But can you see all those colours? So, what I basically want is to use this. As my... I'm just holding it up to the sunlight to see where I want things to be kind of measured up. I'm going to use this as my backing paper because I've used it already in this and I love all the shimmer. I want to make this one as simple as possible at the moment. You may have noticed there haven't been too many videos recently. There is a reason for that, and so it's good to feel like I'm getting back to filming, but I just don't want to overthink too much at the moment. So even though I've cut that way inside, it doesn't matter. I'd rather it was a bit larger. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So we're going to use this as the background paper. Now, I could have made my own paper similar to this. Let's see. I feel like we need more of it this way. Yep. Yeah, right on the inside of that line. But I thought I have this in my stash. So let's use it and make my life simpler right now. Simple sounds good. I could even cut it a tiny bit smaller and have like the black border a little bit. That might be worth doing. Obviously, if you've already got paper or if you want to use inks, I was originally thinking of using a pale envelope and inking it all up, and then I remembered that I had this in my stash. So I thought, no, let's use that. Will that even, is it even a little bit of a border? It's really not. So seems to be a lot of trimming here. Until we get it right, we shall trim. Hopefully, fingers crossed, normal videoing will return now for the most part, even if things are going up late and I have to use a couple of Sundays to catch up. Yeah, so hopefully. Let's have a look here. Yeah, so I've got just a little bit of border all the way around there, and I really like that. I'm going to stitch this on. So there were two reasons that I needed. I'm also going to come on with some black cert. There were two reasons I needed that open. One, I am going to stitch it on. And second, I am going to be cutting into it. So I needed it open for that, and I obviously need this already glued on for that as well. And don't mind there's some white. This is giving me space vibes. That's what it's giving me. And as we have a lot to do with the moon, I thought the space vibes worked well. I'm wondering if I want the corners rounded. No, we're not going to. I was going to, because of the roundness of the moon. I was thinking, did I want the corners rounded? But I'm not going to. So let's glue this down. Like so. I do need this really well glued down as well. So we're going to do that. Okay, let's get this straight. On there. And then kind of do a border. Okay then, like so. It's not the perfectly symmetrical border, but I am really not going to worry about it. I'm just glad I am back to filming, so yeah. So I am going to go and stitch all the way around that. So that in itself is a cute envelope, but what I also want to do is I want to make the moon basically go Widdershins. So I think I want the bigger moon because I think the bigger moon will look better because it can kind of come off the tag a little bit. Like so. And I want it to move Widdershins. The smaller moon would work as well. Maybe we'll do... I don't know which I want. I wish I could hear you guys. I do wish that I could. I kind of like the bigger one, but the smaller one would leave us more scope to kind of put something on here. Maybe. This is taking too long, I know, guys, but bear with me. Do you know what? I feel like the smaller moon might work better. I don't know. Could do two. Which one, guys? Which one? Do you know what? I'm going to use the bigger moon. I actually am. Now, I wanted to emboss this moon to come on with a little bit of embossing. I do not have my embossing powder, which is very annoying. What I do have is a little bit of glow in the dark paint. So what I was thinking, although you normally need to layer this quite a bit for it to even work, but I'm thinking about coming into the edge of the moon. There's quite a lot on there because we have illumination. So I was thinking about coming in with the edge of this moon with some of the glow in the dark paint. I quite like that. Oh no, what have I done? Oh, okay. I'm not going to worry. It's only paint. I can clear that up. So, yeah, it's not something I'm going to worry about. I want this just around the edge so that the moon has this kind of luminous outline, which I don't think is too bad. So let me clear this up. So whilst that's drying a little bit, the next thing I want to do is to, might be easier this way. So if it's opening that way, I need to have it this way. then again I need to think about Widdershins, so it needs to be going this way. What I need to do is to kind of cut a channel. Might need to be bigger than this. First of all, I need to think about what I'm going to put on the inside of here. I think, so I had some black card. I think I'm going to punch some of these out. I'm just thinking, and as I'm thinking, that's when I will get this sorted. Okay, so do I need more? I might do a couple more as well. So what I was wondering is how big this needs to be, because what am I going to put between it so that it will move? Oh my goodness me, this won't come out now. Come out, come out. Right. I don't know what this is. It might be half an inch punch. I'm not sure. But what I do want to do is I want to stick these together. So I'm going to do that. And then we really need to think about what's going to go on there so that we can cut it out. Also, I need to make sure I measure up the thing that we're going to use to pull. I need to think about how far down this is too. So it only goes to about there from there. That's okay. I'm sure there's a simpler way to do this. My brain is not at its best. But that's okay. I basically want the moon raised a little bit. So this is going to go on the underside of the moon. I just want it popping off the envelope a little bit. Do you see how chunky that is? I think that's actually enough. I don't think we need any more. And what we could use, I think other people would use something else. But what I might use is some double-sided sticky things. So I am going to measure that, which means it needs to comfortably go around there. This is all very professional. You need it to be able to fit in this channel really well. Put that on the underside of there. I'm actually going to glue it on so it doesn't pop off in the when we're using it. I mean, I could have used a magnet as well. That would have been fun. But again, they would have had to be glued. Now, the other thing I need to do is, where is my other black card? I need a piece of card that is going to go to the furthest reach. That's actually really good. So let's just kind of do that there. Because I need to be able to push the moon and pull the moon. So basically, you would push it in and pull it back out. That's what I'm hoping. So we need to do that as well. And it would have to be here, which means I need the dot or something around here. Something needs to be here. Oh, I could just glue it to the dot. Okay, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to risk it. Whew, yeah. Okay, I am actually going to use my craft knife, I've decided, because this is quite thick to get through. So, I'm going to cut this. Don't you just love when you're like, yeah, I've got a random idea, but I don't actually know how to do it. Let's move the paper. This is quite wide, actually. Okay, this is quite wide. Thank goodness I picked the bigger moon, because, you know, I can kind of cut this around. Like so. The thing is, we are actually going to see this. So what I'm thinking about doing is I'm actually thinking about sticking this underneath. Does that make sense? Possibly. Will that work? If we have something moving, it could work. What I need to do is to come in and ink around here. I told you, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. If you guys know a better way of doing this, I'm sure you do. I feel like this is too big now. This barely keeps this in. Well, if I need to make a bigger circle, I've got a bigger punch, so that's fine. I'm going to just darken the edges so there's no white. This is not a tutorial, guys. This is me trying to work out what I'm actually going to do. When my brain is like, no. And then we're going to fit this like a jigsaw piece on the inside. That's what we're going to do. I don't know. Is it going to work? I guess we're going to find out together. I definitely overcut. I should have used scissors. As always, I should have done the measure twice, cut once, or cut smaller than your need, so that you can always come in and make something slightly bigger, but you can't make it small again. But again, I'm not going to worry too much. We're going to work this out together, guys. That's what we're going to do. Need that cut really, really well, because there's going to be something going over it. I forgot it's meant to be that way. All of a sudden I thought, oh no, am I not even doing it Widdershins? I was starting to panic a little bit. Okay, what was I looking for? I was looking for this. So this is going to fit in this slit that we've made here. So this is going to be like so. Why is that coming off? So yeah, this is going to work. Why is that? Right, okay, I don't know what's happening there. Need to glue that down. So it's coming up, which will just cause all sorts of problems as we're moving stuff. Is that going to fall through? I don't think it will fall through anywhere. Is this dry? Dryish, yeah. So that would be on there, and this is going to go in here. I want to actually be able to move it, like, yeah, that's basically what I want to be able to do. If I want this out a bit further here, let's see. Now I am going to just stick this on here because I should be able to take it off if it's not working the way I want it to. So we're going to do that. So it could go to about here. And then up and to about there. Yes. Okay, so that works. Now I've got to glue the moon onto it. Although thinking about all that, for the moment, I'm going to maybe pop this out for the moment. Okay, so... Okay, what do I want to do? Do I want to pop that out or do I want to pop that back in? Right, it can go in like so. Right. Okay, so we've got that. And now what I need to do is I need to glue all of this down. So this is in here. It only goes so far, but that's okay. And we need to glue this down. So it won't actually be an envelope once we put it in our junk journal, but that's okay. It will be a flip, which is the most important thing. Okay, that needs to glue down, and this needs to glue here. I do apologise if I seem very discombobulated. I am. So I guess we're just going to see as that's drying, it's standing out less. I could even add more around the edge maybe, which is good. It's not as bright. I just want to see if it actually does though light up. I think it does a little bit, so that's good. Okay. And the other thing I need to then do is, that's going to be this way. This is going to go on the other side, so I need to trim that. This is fun. Okay, let's pull this back out for now, because I don't want it as big as that. I'm not sure as of yet what I want to put on it. So there's that. But this will be a flip in the journal, like so. Okay, so on the other side, I do have some paper from Release the Crafting. I do love it. It says stars can't shine without darkness. I thought that was really cute, actually. So I was going to use that. I do have some other paper. I have some of my paper, which I kind of like as well. We can have some tea-dyed paper on there and have a border again. I do also have some just plain blue paper that we could bring in. Oh, I like that. That works really well, doesn't it? Yeah, that works well. What I need to remember is I need to put this back in. It needs to be able to move. Really, I should have something else on here. I know what I'm going to put on here. Right, I've got some of this. Doesn't quite match that, but I can glue it to that side and that side. No, we're not. We're not going to do that. We're going to use this, but I need a longer piece. So let me grab it. What I actually decided is just grab some more black card. That's what I decided. So that's what I am going to do. Yeah. I just need that base. It needs to be only glued to here because we need this to move. And if I glue something flat to here, this is not going to be able to move. Does that make sense? Good job I thought about that, because otherwise we would be a little bit having some issues. And then because of this, I was wondering actually if we can just work on the front, because we can always come back to this. It's got some of the glue along the edge from the pad that it came from, which is a little bit frustrating, but okay. And that would glue onto there and onto there. Might even trim it just a smidge more. Then we can decorate the back of here. And I do want some like paper and stuff. I do want some of that on there because I want you to be able to write on the back of this. Because we've lost the envelope portion. I want for there to be writing space on the back of here, which I like that. So I'll do that. You can put a pocket on the back of here as well. If you were making one of these, you could do a pocket. I have something I want to use. So I was even considering putting like a little pad on the back of here, but I don't think I will. Okay, let's ink around that in black. And the good thing about not working on the envelope right now is that we can get all this glued on here and do any stitching if we even wanted to. What was it I wanted to add? Okay, so I have this image. This is not a release the crafting image, but it gives me witchy ladies dancing around the moon, which I kind of love. So we're going to bring that in as well. This digital was from someone on Etsy who I don't think they have this digital anymore. I could be wrong. I've used it a few times over the years, but unfortunately I can't link it because I'm pretty sure it's not there anymore, but I'm going to use it. And I'm thinking if this is on here, maybe even this way up, because I like this. It looks like, it almost looks like the moon and planets. I don't know, it's giving me those vibes. And I want these ladies. That could very easily be a pocket. Now I'm thinking, do I want it as a pocket? No, I'm not going to have it as a pocket. That's not what I'm going to do. Let's just do, I want to say simple, but I don't know if that's the term for today's one, but let's do something simpler, shall we say? And do that and not have a pocket. So, have it that way, up like so. Then this is going to go on as just that. I do like the stars can't shine without darkness bit, so we could bring that in. I also have this, which I've used to cut out stars for, again, another make in this challenge. My goodness me. Words are not a thing at the moment. Words are not a thing. You're going to have less space to write if I do that, aren't you? Do you know what? I kind of like them under there. I do like that. You're still going to have less space to write, but I like it. So I might do that, because why not? And let's say we did. All right then, I did have these. These are Release the Crafting. Little moon tabs. Could even have one of those up there. Could have one of those up there. It might also work on the little black piece that we're going to use to move the moon with. I don't know. I guess we're gonna see. Yeah, that could possibly go up there. I feel like it's a bit chaotic, but does it work, guys? Do we think it works? Do you kind of like it up there? Do you know what? Let's just glue this down and then make some decisions. And I may stitch around this, because why not? So let's do this. Like so. Might even have some fabric that could work. And then we were going to put this under here so we have some stars. Move that down to the bottom. Need it on the blue. I do like that. That's the thing. So let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. I don't know. Now, the thing with this is, what this is basically teaching all of you is never throw any scrap away. Which I think is a problem we all have as junk journalists and journal makers. We do keep all our scraps, and I'm really not helping by going, oh, well, I had this scrap of paper and I had this scrap with these stars on it. But that's okay. And I think what I might want to do, if I can find it, I might want to see if I could come in with a little bit of blue. I can find my blue one. Okay, I can't, but I'm just going to use this. So I pulled out some tumbled glass distress ink because I just kind of wanted to bring it in with some of these stars that we're going to see, just to give them a slightly darker colour. Could have done this before, definitely could have. Might even come in around some other areas. This is in real need of something because it is very, very dry. But okay, that is what it is. And I think, where'd my little pen go? I think I'm going to come in and draw around the inside of these stars as well, just to help them stand out a little bit. Definitely glad I decided not to make this a pocket, because putting something in and out of here would have been a little difficult. But I'm going to have to check my words soon to make sure I am actually staying with the words. Okay, I am going to glue this down, and then I think I'm going to stitch, because we can continue working on what we want to do once the stitching's done on here. Definitely need a moon on here though, because, you know, I have actually got some words, so we could use that instead. But I'm going to go and stitch, and I'm going to stitch around this, and then I'm going to stitch around that. And now I was just wondering again about the moon, because I can put a little moon right at the top. Do you know, I really like it. I'm just wondering if it needs some fabric. I don't want to go and grab stuff. So I want to see if I've already got something in here that could work. I like the lace. Let's cut some of this and have a look. Yeah. Let's do that. Just to have a little something underneath. This, that bit can go up to the top, and we could have this kind of underneath there. Maybe I cut too much. That's okay, because we can come on with some more. Kind of have it layered up. Has some lace. Oh, do you know what else I have? Hold on. I have the thread that we used on one of the other things as well. I think I have some new threads. I wonder if I have a slightly different colour that could work. No, you can come back. Yeah, see, I like that, but this is still too plain. So what I might do is come around this as well with a little bit of this glow-in-the-dark paint. This is literally just cheap glow-in-the-dark paint. I know it does work because I have used it before, but just be aware that when you use glow-in-the-dark paint, sometimes you need more than one layer of it. There's a lot on here, so although I don't know if I mind too much. Have a look at that. Oh, do you know what else? Hold on. So the other thing I thought I could pull is some of this. Now this is glow-in-the-dark embroidery floss. This is, I think it's DMC E94 is what it says on there. I don't want to use too much of it because I'm in the middle of stitching a new piece that I am making a glow-in-the-dark skeleton on. So I don't want to waste too much of this because I don't actually have a lot. But this might be fun to put behind as well, because then we'll have a few different glow-in-the-dark elements on here, which hopefully will all glow in the dark. Yeah. And I think I want to stitch that across. Just need a few little threads. We've got the thing on there. Let me stitch that. So there we go, guys. Now I'm really hoping that between the paint, which got smushed a little bit with the sewing, and the thread, we might be able to see some glow in the dark pieces. And I need to make sure I'm putting this on right, but it would go on like that. Even wondering about going around this with some, but we can come back to that. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue this on here, and I'm only going to glue it on these pieces of the envelope and make sure I get a good amount of glue on these. And then this would be obviously glued down onto the back, making sure we're putting it on the right way, because goodness me, I do not want to be pulling this all off. So I'm also not going right to the edge of those bits in case the glue smushes a little bit, and then we've got the problem of, again, the inside getting glued. Just checking once again, making sure, and then we're going to glue this down onto here. Oh, I think I put more of a border than I realized, which is good. But yeah, okay. Thankfully my glue dries clear, so that's not too much of an issue. Do you know what? I really like the back. The back would work as is for a lot of these prompts. Let's double check them again. We've got Widdershins, Lunation, and Celesta. Okay, cool. Perfect. We are going to come back to this because I feel like it still needs more stuff. But let's move on to the front now, and let's get this back in here because we are going to stick the moon down, or are we? So the moon is going to be about here, so that when I move it, it can come off a little bit. So actually, the moon could even be slightly more to the side, like so, slightly more over. So what I wanted on here was, I have this little stencil. I was going to come on with some stars, and I've got the Ranger Distress Grit Paste Glow. That is the number. It is TSHK 84464. Please open. I haven't opened this in a while, so I guess, yep, there we go. And I am going to use the texture paste on here and add some glow-in-the-dark stars to this. Fingers crossed. It's a lot of glow-in-the-dark elements. I really wish I had my embossing powder, because if I did, I'd be able to do so many more things that I want to do. But we are just working with what I have. Okay, that's not going down very flat. I think it's because it's not very flat on the back of my spatula, which is totally my fault because I've obviously forgot to clean it since another project. That's okay. Gone very quiet as I'm trying to get this in all the edges. So let's do a little bit more. Oh, I've just realized I'm picking up the paint and it's also going into the glow in the dark. So let me grab another spatula if I can find one. I had a little one. What did I do with that little one? Okay, instead of little, I found an even bigger one. But this might work. Yeah, that works better, which is good. I don't even mind if the stars are a little bit textured, because it makes me think of the moon. Okay, so now I'm gonna, I love it when you put the lid on. Do you see it starts to glow? It brings me so much happiness. Now we're going to very carefully pull this up. I need to do that. Okay, and now I need to bring it on and kind of do a few more down here, making sure to just miss out this little bit there. Okay, so we don't want it on the open bit. Okay, yes, okay, I like that. I can't put that back in there because I don't want it dirtying up my what's it called, my paste. Okay, I am going to dry this. Okay, so I use my heat tool. It's not going to be perfectly dry, but it's drier than it was. So you need to make sure, because that is now moved because I heated it. Okay, I need to make sure that we can have the moon. So it would move over here. So I might have to start over here because I want to be able to see it actually move around. Maybe a bit more there. Okay, we are going to glue it. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this. That's what I'm going to glue. And then I'm going to decide where this is going to go. Really hope this does glow in the dark a little bit, because I'm wondering if I need a bit more around the edge of that. I can always come on with a paintbrush if I'm not happy. And I'm going to just glue. I'm going to press that down. We're going to have our moon about here. That really needs to glue on there. And then this should move. Now, if you don't know, which I'm guessing you do, but if you don't, Widdershins does mean the opposite way round. So although when we move it up, that's the opposite, when we move it down like this, that's Widdershins. So I am really happy with that. I like that. And then we see all the stars as well. I was also wondering about coming on with a little bit of gold. Could use silver. Silver might work, but there's already some gold on here. So I was thinking about picking that up. So let's do that. Let's get some packaging or something underneath. Okay, probably a bit too much packaging, but okay. And I'm going to use my gold here. As always, I splatter off first. Just want a little bit. I think I've got some blue as well. I don't even mind a little bit on the moon. But it kind of ties these bits in. Okay, so we have that. I could obviously do it on the other side, but at this moment, this needs to dry. And I need to think about bringing in maybe a little blue. So I am going to just put my paintbrush in some water. Okay, so I have a few different options right now. I found some silver, which I think might work nice too. I also found some of this really dark ultramarine, but I don't think that's going to show up. But I did find this shimmer shaker, and I'm wondering if I can actually use this with a little bit of water to make some sort of splatter. I'm just going to put it down there. I don't know. I guess we're going to find out. If it doesn't work, but what's the harm? We've tried something. Might need more powder, but let's do this. And then let's see. Ooh, I like that. I don't know if it's going to show up once it's dry. That's my problem. Don't want it too much on the stars, even though I put a load down there. I'm hoping it shows up. Okay, let me try and dry this. So I got a bit splatter happy and added some to the moon, but do you see that shimmer on there? I wish it hadn't got on some of the stars, but can you just see that? I think it looks really good. And that's now made me want to turn this over very gently and bring some on to the back here and splatter here because it needs something. So that's that one, and we will bring on a little bit of the, do we want the gold? Do we want the silver? This is the silver. What am I doing? Okay, I don't usually use the silver, even though normally I much prefer silver to gold. Oh, yes. Just that little bit of silver on here. Oh, we've got to add some onto here as well, just to lighten up. I mean, how much splatter can we have on the front? Sorry, I'm making myself laugh, and I'm just like, seriously, Belle? And you just smished the other side. Do you know what? It doesn't matter. Actually, does not matter. Okay, I'm going to try and, oh gosh, so much. I'm going to try and dry both of these. Okay, it might be one of those situations where maybe there's too much splatter. But also it's a bit of fun. So I don't know. I feel like this is very busy. This feels more like me. This feels very busy. But we've done it. So, well, not we. I did it. So what am I complaining about? Okay, these are also from Release the Crafting. You can see it says new moon. It says new moon, full moon. Then it's got like the quarters, waning crescent, gibbous, all those kind of things. So I'm thinking of putting full moon. And I might also use new moon. We're going to see. So I'm thinking of bringing in the full moon. And where's the black? I might put this on the front. There's a lot happening on the front. So I don't know if I want to do that. But also, oh, do you know what? I do kind of like that. We're just going to see the word moon, which I quite like. And then that. I think that's quite good. And I don't want to add anything. I don't want to add string. I don't want to add fabric. I don't want to do any of that, guys. I am wondering, though, if I want it embossed. But I think I kind of like it as is because there's so much going on the front that I don't think I want to add anything else at all behind this. So I want that there, and then I'm thinking on the back we can put new moon. Thought that would be quite good fun. So we can do that. I was only going to use one of them, but now I want to use both. I think we'll see if it can fit on here somewhere. There's already a lot going on the back, but that doesn't matter. Do you even have it across there? Doesn't leave a lot of writing space. I think I don't like this white bit. I think that's my problem. But then I also kind of like it down here. I mean, either side's good, really. We could put it in the middle and just, you know, that's the difference. Hold on, let me do this. Okay. Just got ink on me. I think I like it there. I think that's what I like because there's a lot on this side, so it kind of balances out. Do I want to bring in thread and things? I don't think I do. I don't think I really want to bring in much of anything. I have this the tiniest little smidge of lace. Maybe I'll bring that in to kind of balance that. But other than that, I don't want anything else because, again, I don't want this too busy. The front's very busy. It's giving me a bit of a headache. I'm just excited to see if any of this glows. I've used glow-in-the-dark paint. I've used glow-in-the-dark texture paste. I've used glow-in-the-dark thread. So it would be really interesting to see if any of this actually does glow on there. So we also have this bit. How far does it go into there? So we don't need this whole thing. I'm going to push that to the absolute furthest that it will go. And then I'm going to trim part of this off. Because we really don't need the whole thing at all. Okay. And I was wondering, so we've got this other moon. Do we want to add that on there? Like as the pole? Do we want to do that? Because we can do it both sides. because these can be done like that, but we've already got one on that side. How would it look to have another one? Don't know. Why don't you turn it the right way, Belle? Maybe we just don't put anything on it. Maybe a star? Star would be good. I don't know. I don't know what I want on there. I do want to round the edges a little bit. Like so. But I don't know if I want anything on there. Yeah, no, I tried the star. Oh, do you know what I didn't do? Were you shouting, Belle? You didn't put full moon on there. You're right, I did not. Good catch, guys. I need to think about what can be on the tab. To be honest, the tab could be super simple. I could put an eyelet in that tab and then hang charms from it, which I don't have any of that right now. Oh gosh, this is going to be really hard because it's on so many textures. The problem is I can't really put it on double-sided tape because we've got so many layers on here, it can't get in the way of it. Let's try it. Let's try it and see if we can. Oh dear me, what can the matter be? I haven't filmed in what seems an eternity. So let's do this. We can have it say full moon. Which I really like. Yep, I like that on there. Press it a little bit. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. Yeah, that still works around there. And I honestly feel like we're done. I think an eyelet with some charms would work really well on there. I don't have them to hand right now, but I think I will probably add that. I also wonder about the idea of adding something around the edge, but anyway. And I haven't decorated that, you've noticed, because I don't know how I want this to fit in a journal page. So do I have a journal nearby that I can grab? No, that's not big enough. Let me grab this one. So this is my Marguerite Miller one. So it's not a journal that I'm kind of working in. But, well, you know, not a normal kind of journal. So, say we're on a page. I could either glue this to the page, although then it won't open, will it? No, it's going to have to be glued onto the back. Although, will it open then either? Oh my goodness me, will this not open if that is there? If you move the page out like that, it will do. Okay, so that's okay. If the page is moved out and up, it's not going to turn perfectly if you just put it down. But you can put it with either this bit flat or over the edge. And as I don't know how I want to do that yet, I'm going to leave this one. It's got all the splatters on anyway. Oh my goodness. Well, that proved harder than maybe it should have. So let's have a look. So we've got envelopes. So I've used a black envelope. I really do love all the splatter though on there. We have Solasta Luminous Shining. So obviously moonshine, starshine. We've got all these micas and splatters. We've also got glow in the dark stars with the paint, glow in the dark thread, glow in the dark texture paste. So we've got different ways for it to be shining. We have lunation, a lunar cycle, especially new or full moons. So we literally have that on there. Well, we're talking about the moon. And for a lunar cycle, obviously the moon has to move as part of a lunar cycle. We have full moon on the front, but we have new moon on the back, and we have the quarter moon, half moon. And also I love these girls looking like they're dancing in the moon. And then we have Widdershins moving counterclockwise, associated with bad luck or magic. So we have these ladies who look like they might be doing some witchy stuff. And then the moon would start up here, and we are going to go Widdershins. But if we don't want too much bad luck, we can also go the other way. But we can go Widdershins. I am quite happy with it. I love the movement of the moon. I love that when it's up here we can just see the word moon, but then we can see full moon. I like all the shine. I just think it's a lot for me, but maybe not for others. And I love the back. We've got some writing space. We've got some more sparkle. We've used up some different bits and bobs. And I found out I've used these mica powders with some water and found out that I really like the shine on those as well. And in case you want to know what they are, that was the Cosmic Shimmer Shaker, and it is in Teal Ocean, and there is the number. So just in case, again, I only have 2 of those, I think, in all of my stash. So there we go. Although now I have it all over my hand. That's today's one, guys. I know it's been a little bit chaotic and all over the place, and at times I didn't know what I was doing, and maybe it's a bit much. Let me know what you'd think down below. Be kind. But I'm glad I got to use up some scraps in a fun way, and that's part of this challenge. I'm not coordinating pieces. They don't have to go in journals. I am just making things, playing, trying new techniques, and being inspired by some really fun words. Anyway, guys, don't forget to check out the links down below. I will be back again soon with another video. But until next time, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having lots and lots of crafty fun. Until then, bye for now.